Hey friends, welcome to part two of creating a futuristic portrait using Google Draw. Okay, so you should have this basic stuff so far. You've traced your facial features, or if you're using a photo of someone else, facial features, and something for the clothing. I'm going to show you how to create some hair. You don't have to draw hair if you don't want to. You can create this however you want. You're allowed to make up things, right? Use your imagination. So you can use anything you want. I think I'm going to use the polyline again to make a shape, kind of like this. Okay. Remember that it only works if this color pops up. It should pop up. It's kind of like a grayish color. If that doesn't happen, that means it didn't work and you need to delete it and start over, as you saw in part one. Okay, so now I'm going to change the color. What color hair do I want? Since this is futuristic and I can make it anything I want, I think I'm going to make it blue. Why not? Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna come up into these little nooks and crannies and go around the ear. Anywhere you want there to be a point. Oh, look, what did I just do? Okay, I'm gonna go back. Okay, let me start over. Okay, go around. This looks kind of anime-ish to me, and I know a lot of you guys are into that. Okay, cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create some goggles. And I want it to look like I can see through the goggles so you can kind of see these lines that I drew from my eyes behind them. So I'm going to use the transparency tool. Okay, so I'm going to come up to, to create goggles. I don't think I want them to be super sharp and angular. I think I want them to be curved, but you could absolutely use the polyline tool if you want to. But I'm going to use the curve tool. Okay, so remember, come up to line, click this little arrow, come down to curve. So this will do the same thing that the polyline tool does, but instead of creating a sharp turn when you click, it creates a curve. So let me demonstrate. These are just going to be these big goggles. See how it curves? It's kind of like almost like a big piece of wire. Ooh, okay, so that's the shape that I made. I can tell that it worked because it was filled in, but I don't want it to be opaque like this. I want it to be transparent or slightly transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to this guy up here, the fill color paint bucket. I'm going to not go to gradient, but I'm going to go right to where it says solid, come down to custom. Right now, if I want to change the color, I don't think I want my glasses to be blue. I think I want them to be purpley. I want to be real colorful. That's all right. Maybe like this, okay? Pick any color you want. All right. So right now, this is completely clear, and this is completely not clear, which is called opaque. So if you want it to look like a see-through glasses or goggles, slide this down so it's like in the middle. Okay. And you see how that looks like glasses? Awesome. Okay. So you see the outline of the glasses? It's just like a thin black line. If you want to change the outline, you can do that as well by coming over, remember to border color, or border weight. I think I'm gonna keep, I think I'm gonna make the outline of the glasses a little bit thicker. There you go. And if I wanted to change the color of the border or the outline of the goggles, I would just come to this one next to it, border color. But I think I'm just gonna leave it black. Okay, so, ooh, look, I still have the curve tool, so I'm gonna hit escape. So let's go. So let's see how this looks when we move the picture. It looks pretty cool if you ask me. So at this point, if you want, you can add more images from the internet. You definitely don't have to. If you decide that you really want to, please just make sure that you're using transparent background. Okay, so now that I don't think I need this picture of me anymore because I have all the stuff that I need. So I'm gonna make sure that it's selected. You see how there's this little blue thing that popped up around my picture. I'm going to delete that. Make sure that this thing, because that's the actual artwork that you created, don't delete that. Make sure that when you delete the selfie or the photo, that that's the thing that is selected. Okay? So let me show you what you can do if you want to add some little details from the internet. Come up to Insert, Image, search the web, same thing. So we were looking at some artwork inspired by Afrofuturism. So I'm not going to say that this is a Afrofuturist piece of artwork, but it could be inspired by it. So a lot of the digital collages that we were looking at had like a lot of gold chains and stuff like that. And I have a feeling that some of you guys are going to think that that would look pretty cool. So what I typed in is gold chain transparent background. All right, you can look up anything. You can have flowers or birds or other planets or anything you could think of, okay? But I just searched for this, okay? So transparent background, super important. The top one that popped up, I'm just gonna drag it over. So see how big it is? I'm going to resize it so it fits, and I'm gonna make that part of my costume. I think it looks pretty cool. And then I found some other things down here. Let's look at an example of one we should not use. This is an example of one I should not use because it has a white background and it kind of ruins the look of our collage. So make sure it's selected, hit delete. Just because you write transparent background doesn't mean that everything you look up is going to be transparent. All right, you just have to click on them and test them out. Sometimes it takes a while to find one that's actually transparent.